morning. Okay, I read somewhere that when you're with a group of people on a cold day, the more enthusiastically you say good morning, the warmer it gets. So let's try that again. Good morning. Wonderful. My name is Nasha McCrae, Assistant City Manager for the City of Greensboro. I'm joined with Bridget Blanton, Director of the Greensboro Public Library and Museum. And on behalf of the City of Greensboro, it is our great pleasure to welcome you all to today's groundbreaking ceremony for the new Windsor Chavis Nocho Community Complex. This is truly an exciting moment, and we are thrilled to be standing here together and with you as we take this monumental step toward a brighter future for our community. We are honored to be joined today by our distinguished elected officials from the Greensboro City Council, our Guilford County Commission, state representatives, our congressional representation, community leaders, our project stakeholder committee, members, city and county staff, including our managers' teams, our countless partners such as Cone Health, the Public Art Endowment, the Greensboro Public Library Board of Trustees, and the Greensboro Public Library Foundation, the Greensboro Parks and Rec Commission, and the Parks Foundation. I can go on and on and on. But all of these that I have mentioned, their unwavering support and dedication have made this project possible. Joined by us as a part of our exciting program that we have today, who you will hear remarks and thoughts from, is our Honorable Mayor of the City of Greensboro, Nancy Vaughn, our Representative of U.S. Congress of the 6th District of North Carolina, Kathy Manning, Skip Alston, the Chair of the Guilford County Board of Commissioners, Dr. Goldie Wells, District 2 Greensboro City Council Representative, as well as Sharon Hightower, District 1 Representative of the Greensboro City Council, Dr. Mary Jo Cagle, the President and Chief Executive Officer of Cone Health, Betty Watson, President of the Old L. Richardson Neighborhood, and wrapping us up will be the Director of Greensboro Parks and Recreation, Phil Fleischman. It's also an honor to be joined by every one of you today, our community, because your presence here signifies the collective vision and the hard work that has brought us to this moment, and for that, we're deeply grateful.
Good morning and welcome again. I'm Bridget Blanton. And wow. So today, a concept, a collaboration, and what some consider to be a dream becomes a reality for our community. I had the pleasure of working at Vance Chavis back in the early 90s, so you'll know that means I'm not quite as young as some may think that I am. And one of the things is that we saw how much this community cherished its library and Windsor Recreation Center. But the other thing that happened is I observed children running across what was then called High Point Road, now Gate City Boulevard, running between those two destinations because they wanted to be at both. Our staff over there, we would sometimes hold our breath and say, yes, they made it. Okay, whew, that was hard. And then there came a moment, fast forward me to 2012. I had the opportunity to serve on a committee to review grants and had a wonderful boss, Sandy Neerman, who was at the time Assistant City Manager. And I came back and she asked me the question. She said, can we do this? And I said, we cannot in our facilities. But if we ever get the opportunity, because both Chavis and Windsor had capital improvement projects, if we can ever join together, we can meet a need of a community. And at that point, because she is who she is, if you know her, a few weeks later, she said, you and Nasha get together and put that together. So this for us has been around since 2012. We have been waiting since 2012. Fast forward 2016, right? Let me back up a bit. So when we were trying to convince folks, we told a story, and everybody says we need to tell the grandma story. So imagine with me, I'm going to take you there, a grandma who has her 3 grandchildren after school because her daughter and her daughter's husband are working. One of them is a preschooler, one's a middle schooler, and the other one is a high schooler. She brings them to this new destination. Well, you all know if you have any work with a teenager, no teenager wants to be with his grandma and his siblings on an after school. So he comes into this facility and he goes into the gym and he plays basketball to work out some steam because school is really not going the way that he wants to. But then the middle schooler, because that's the studious one for some reason in the story, goes into the Library Technology Resource Center and does what a studious student does and gets the homework done. Grandma drops off the preschooler at toddler story time because she realizes that he's safe in that space. But then she takes her confident self down the hall to Zumba because she's going to make sure she remains young. All of that can happen in this facility. It is the dream that we have. But it goes beyond that because when she comes out, she realizes that the kiosk is telling her that there's a program about fair housing that's going to happen in this location and they don't have to go anywhere else to get it. She also realizes that she hears that the statistics for crime and some other statistics in the neighborhood have actually come to pass, but she doesn't believe it. So she looks and she gets those crime rates and they're up to date. So then she knows how to advocate within her community. That is what this facility will do for the community. So in 2016, when there was a bond, Parks and Rec had several on the bond agenda. The library did not. So because we wanted to be an example of what collaboration truly looked like, it didn't matter to me at the time whether or not there was a separate bond because we are joined together as people in the city of Greensboro to bring to you, this community, what you need. So when they asked us the question, because we were asking for money, they couldn't give it all to us. But they said, if we give you money to go out and do a plan, can you do that? So they gave us $2 million that you passed in a bond in 2016 to go out and do something that we love to do, which is we had a concept, but we talked to you, the community, and said, what is it that you want? And we took that with the architects and with the stakeholder committee, and the facility that you see when you go into the building, when you see the rendering, wasn't designed by us. The program was designed by you, and this building was built around it. So without your help, we would not have been able to do this. So this library, this rec center, which is not either one of those, so let's all get together. It is the Windsor Chavis Nocho Community Complex. We are here to serve this entire community. We do it because we believe in you. We thank you that you believe in us.
So as Bridget said, the Windsor Nocho, the Chavis Nocho Community Complex, it's purposefully influenced by local and community-wide engagement that we started in 2019. So as she mentioned, this concept started 7 years prior. And while a joint facility with a recreation and a library center is not a new phenomenon, the cultural and historical significance for the Windsor Chavis Nocho Community Complex is what makes this so significant to our community. The intentionality of each and every aspect of this community complex, from the selection of the architect and the design team, Vines Architecture and Evoke Studios, which are 100% minority and minority women-owned businesses, to the design, the design, the programming, the amenities of the complex, all informed by the community's stories, their desires, and their dreams. Even our partners that I aforementioned, for the social, the public health services, the public art, are unlike anything that we have seen in the United States. Again, the United States, not North Carolina, not Greensboro, in our country. And so from the very beginning, the desire and the dreams that we took from this community, we took that into consideration as the driver for the mission of this project and this facility. We wanted to incorporate modern technology, state-of-the-art amenities, while meaningfully celebrating the rich history and the culture of the Nocho Park community and East Greensboro. And so this complex will be a place where community members, they can meet, they can learn, they can hold events, they can support one another. It's a place of unity. It's a place of inclusion that is very much needed in our community. And it brings together services and people in a way that has never been done in Greensboro. And so as you will hear from the distinguished speakers throughout the remainder of the program, the Windsor Chavis Nocho Community Complex is more than just a building. It's a symbol of our commitment to the health, the education, and the well-being of every individual in our community. It'll be a place where people of all ages can gather, where they can learn, grow, and thrive together, whether it's enjoying recreation activities, whether it is exploring resources in a modern library setting, accessing wellness services. This complex will be a cornerstone of our community for generations to come. So we are incredibly excited for the future. the possibilities that lie ahead for us, and we are deeply committed to the continued collaboration with you, the community, and our partners. And today we break ground on this facility, which will serve as a true beacon of hope and pride for our community. So thank you all for being here to share in this momentous occasion with us, and we look forward to celebrating the journey with each of you as we move forward. So with that being said, I would like to introduce our Honorable Mayor Nancy Vaughn for her remarks.
It's a shame they're not excited about this. I'll tell you. Isn't this a great way to kick off Thanksgiving week? What a wonderful place to be, and what a great project we have. I am here today along with my fellow city council members, Tammy Thurm, Mary Kay Boozawaiter, and Hugh Holston, and of course Goldie and Sharon are on the stage with me. You know, they say that patience comes to those who wait. Well, this project is 12 years old. And I remember when they first came and talked about it to the city council. And it was kind of a low-level discussion, because it was like, well, how can we combine a library and a rec center and maybe have a place where people could come in, pay their bills, and there could be a community room. And we thought, okay, that sounds like a great idea. You know, not really exciting, but it sounds like a great idea. So we did go out for the first bond, which was a planning bond. But then when you get people together and really unleash their imagination, it turned into something I never would have anticipated. This so much exceeds my expectations. And when you hear the grandmother story, which will happen, there'll be plenty of other families that are going to be impacted by this. But to have this amazing building be on Gate City Boulevard, which is a gateway to the city of Greensboro, in this community who has been underserved for so long. As was said, this is going to be a building that not only they're going to look at it across the country, they're going to look at it across the globe, because this is so incredibly unique. It was really important to us that we went out and got the bond for the $50 million, because we knew if we didn't build it, somebody would. The architect, she had the plans, it looked great. It wasn't just going to go in a drawer somewhere. We needed to find the money, and I am very, very grateful to the voters of the city of Greensboro who are entrusting us with the initial $50 million to build this building. You'll hear that we have gotten other funding since then, and we are well on our way. And for that, I am so grateful. I'm grateful you're here today, and I can't wait for the ribbon cutting. That goes back to the patience thing. But I'm going to try my best, because this is going to be a stunning, stunning building. So thank you for starting your Saturday with me. I have the pleasure of introducing Kathy Manning, our Congresswoman. And I just want to say, I am so grateful for Kathy's service to our city and our county. We have gotten funding for projects all across the board that we had never gotten before. Kathy has served us so incredibly well, and I want you to know that you will be missed.
Thank you so much, Mayor Vaughn, and I will miss the opportunity to serve all of you moving forward, but I will find other ways to serve you, even though I will not be your member of Congress. So I'm not going away. I'll just have a different, I'll have to find different venues. I'm just so delighted to be with you on this sunny, beautiful, crisp morning in Greensboro to celebrate this future site of the Windsor Chavis Nocho Community Complex. I have to tell you, when I first came here to see the plan, and it was probably almost 4 years ago, I was overwhelmed by the incredible complex that this community had come up with and the design. And I didn't hear that exact grandmother story, but I heard a version of that grandmother story and how this building was being built to accommodate people of all ages, and also to make sure that our students could do what they needed to do and what they wanted to do after school in a safe environment. And this complex will really combine the legacies of the Windsor Rec Center, the Nocho Park, and the Chavis Library. It will create a dynamic space where there will be community, there will be learning and recreation for people of all ages. I was so proud to go to bat for funding for this project in Congress, and I'm thrilled that we were able to bring back $4.3 million in federal funding for this. If only I could go back to Congress, I could bring back more money, but that will be up to the person who takes my place in this job, and I hope you will all fight for more money from your next representative. We know that this investment will breathe new life into this area, and with the addition of a playground, a nature play area, a community amphitheater, restrooms, multi-purpose fields, native plants, a covered outdoor basketball area, expanded parking, Nocho Park will continue to be a space where people can congregate, stay active, and be together and have fun. And that's just one piece of this integrated community complex. In addition to offering the recreational opportunities, the center will function as a vital service hub. It will provide access to library connections from the nearby Chavis Library and connect residents with a range of food, social, health services available through Guilford County. And this, when I told my husband I was coming, he said, "Wait, this place hasn't been built yet, has it?" I said, no, we're just going to turn some dirt today. But these kinds of celebrations are really important because they get us excited about what's going to come forward, and they also give us a little bit of patience to wait while we're building this new complex. This really does mark the beginning of an exciting transformation of East Greensboro that frankly is long overdue. And this collaborative effort between the city, the county, partner organizations, and the federal government embodies Greensboro's commitment to creating meaningful community space that we can all enjoy together. This is going to be a place where people of all walks of life can gather, learn, and thrive. I cannot wait to return to this complex once it's built and see firsthand the incredible impact this will have on our community. So thank you for advocating to me so I could advocate to the federal government for this funding, because I think this is so important for a transformation of our community. It's now my pleasure to introduce my good friend, Guilford County Board of Commissioners Chairman Skip Alston.
Thank you, Kathy, and good morning to everyone. First, giving honor and praise to my Lord and my Savior, Jesus the Christ, because if it wasn't for him, we would not be able to be here in order to celebrate this magnificent occasion. Let's give God a round of applause. I do also want to recognize some of our county commissioners that are here this morning. I see Commissioner Frankie Jones, Mr. Brandon Gray Hill, and my Vice Chair, Ms. Carvina Foster, Mary Beth Murphy, Carvina, Carly Cook. I know she was going to be here. Any other commissioners here? Let's give them a round of applause. Today we stand together at the groundbreaking of the Windsor Chavis Nocho Community Center, a space that will serve as a beacon of hope, health, and opportunity for the residents of Greensboro and Guilford County. But before I get into the specifics of this incredible project, I want to emphasize something that is also at the core of this occasion, and that is collaboration. From the very beginning, Guilford County has been fully committed to making this community complex a reality. I'm proud to share that Guilford County has contributed $15 million towards the construction of this facility. That's deserving of a round of applause, a collaborative effort for Guilford County and the city of Greensboro. This community center will provide a vital space for essential services. It will house dedicated areas of county resources, the public health and social services, These are the services that directly impact the well-being of our families, our children, and our seniors. By centralizing these services, we make it easier for residents to access the help and the support that they need when they need it the most. The Nocho Community Center will truly be a one-stop hub for community health, wellness, and empowerment. It will provide residents with access to resources that will give them and build them healthier resources, and it will continue to stand as a testament that will provide the opportunity for them to be able to come here, learn here, work here, and to be able to make this a direct community resource that will help build the next generation that will come from this community. It is indeed an honor and a privilege for me to be able to work with the city, work with the county, and work with our community partners in order to make this happen. We are really blessed to have this opportunity, to have this transformative facility, to be a part of this community. Generations yet unborn will be able to look at this day that when we assembled here today in order to do this groundbreaking and call all of our names blessed, because we had the vision, we had the foresight in order to make this happen. For not just for us and this generation, but yes, for generations yet unborn. It's indeed an honor and a privilege for us to be a part of this historic event. Now it's my privilege to introduce Ms. Goldie Wells, a legend within our community, and who was very instrumental in making sure that this facility became a reality. Dr. Goldie Wells.
Good morning, good morning. Thank you, Commissioner Austin, for the introduction. And this is just a great day for District 2. I am so excited about this groundbreaking today. And I'm so glad to see so many of the community. I look over the audience and community is here. It lets us know that Greensboro cares about what's happening over here in District 2. But this day would not have happened without the two ladies that started this presentation. And that's Bridget Blanton and Nasha McCray. I want you to give them a hand. These ladies have had this idea in their heads for so long. It's been a vision that they have had in their thinking so long. Progress takes time to implement. But with a vision of the community, Greensboro Parks and Recreation and the library and museum staff, we have the benefits of partnerships and community-driven design processes. There be many opportunities for community engagement in the facility with the multiple rooms with varied activities for members of our community. When we walk into the building, there will be activities that we could be involved in for physical, mental, emotional, and recreational activities. The complex will combine several different uses in addition to providing recreation amenities, such as a gym, pool, and a lazy river with the slide. The center would also serve as a place where people can use reading and other materials that will be brought from the Chavis library collection, access various foods and social and health services. This facility, as it's been mentioned before, will be recognized. It will be recognized across the country and around the world for its uniqueness. Think about Parks and Rec and a library, all of coming together. The unique idea becoming the complex that we will see in the future. It's going to be outstanding for this corridor. As you come down Gate City Boulevard, you'll see it standing out, and at night it will really light up the surroundings. It's a true game changer for East Greensboro. It's going to make a big difference for East Greensboro. And I appreciate the concern that our council has said we are going to focus on bringing things up in East Greensboro. And so it's been the county and the city working together to make some of these changes. And as I always say, we are changing trash to treasures. This is another treasure in East Greensboro and a treasure for District 2. Now, I want to thank all of you for all that you've done. The support that the community has had coming out for the charrettes and giving their ideas. For those who served on boards and planning committees, we thank you. And we thank you for being here. We want you to stick with us when we have the ribbon cutting. We want you to be right here to experience the Windsor, Chavis, Nocho community complex. Thank you very much for being here. Now, I'd like to introduce my fellow councilwoman, Sharon Hightower. Now, most of the time, she's been the cheerleader. So most of the time, people thought that it's going to be in District 1, but it's District 2. But I'm going to introduce our cheerleader, Councilwoman Sharon Hightower.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Thank you, Dr. Goldie Wells. And let's give Dr. Wells another hand because this is her last term with us, as you all know. That doesn't mean she's gone. She's going to always be here, you know. But I am Sharon Hightower. Good morning. Great to see everyone. I am what you would say Councilwoman 2.0 for District 2. I'm the kind of partner on the side. I represent District 1, and we're next door neighbors. I mean, we come right together. And so a lot of times people think this is one because we overlap and the lines are close together. But it is in District 2. But greater still, it is going to be an awesome amenity in East Greensboro. You know, and I'm going to paraphrase a little bit. Walt Disney once said, "You can have a dream if you just pursue it." We have pursued the dream of the Windsor Chavis Nocho Community Complex because when this idea first came about, nobody thought we could do it. We had some money that we were going to use for planning, and I said, hey, let's put $2 million into the planning of this center so it can be the greatest center on this side of town. Not only is it going to be transformative for East Greensboro, but it's going to be a catalyst for change, for the things that we will see in the future, for the generations that Commissioner Austin spoke about. But for us as well, as we drive through here, Gate City Boulevard, we're going to see things start. This facility come up out the ground, and we're going to know that we all had a hand in making sure this facility comes to fruition. Whether you voted for the bond and supported it that way, or you made a contribution from the county or Cone Health, it is really going to be a reality. I am excited about it, and so sometimes my exuberance spills over and people think, well, that's going to be in your district. And I'm like, well, not technically, but yes, technically, yes, it really is. Because the more I think about it, and whenever I talk to Bridget and Nasha, I just get goosebumps. And Bridget, sometimes tears flow from her eyes. And so I feel how her heart is. And so when we chose our architect, who is a MWBE, a black architect, they had conversation with, and they presented the most unique ideas and plans around what this facility could look like. And so that collaboration for me is very important to ensure that MWBEs be a part of this facility, and they will be. From the subcontractors to the mentor proteges to the joint ventures that are going to be building this place. Not just coming inside and enjoying it, but actually building. And that's important to this community as well, because this is a $75 million economic investment in this community. That's a huge economic development in East Greensboro, where we have normally been underserved and not seen that level of dollars that have been put into our area, and particularly in one facility. So it's going to create jobs, for people to help raise their families. This facility is really going to do a lot more than just have some sports or reading or swimming. It's going to impact lives economically, and that's critically important, particularly in East Greensboro. So I'm excited about what's going to happen here. I'm glad we're all here to celebrate today. I appreciate all our partners here, particularly Cone Health, who put in $5 million. There's going to be a health facility here. So you're going to be able to see a doctor maybe, or see a nurse, something right here in your community. You won't have to catch a ride across town. If you're not feeling well, you'll be able to come here. And that's thanks to Cone Health, because Cone Health said we're going to invest $154 million in East Greensboro. And this is where they're putting some of that money in our facility. And so we appreciate Cone Health and want to thank them. Did Dr. Cagle get here yet? Oh, she did make it? Okay. So I want to introduce her. I didn't see her behind me. But I want to introduce her to you all so that she can tell you how her money is going to help us. And I'm hoping we get more money.
That's a pitch.
Oh, that's right, Dr. Cagle. Well, hey, this is a place that for years and years will be a legacy that will impact this community for centuries. And thank you so much
My pleasure.
for hearing and seeing our vision.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Sharon.
You're welcome. Thank you, Dr. Cagle.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been a real pleasure and a joy to work with my colleagues on the stage, and for our team to work with them. And Chairman Austin said it right. This is about collaboration and about partnerships. And Cone Health has been delighted to have this partnership with the city, and to work with the county council, and to work with this community to bring about real change. And we are looking forward to the transformation that's going to occur. Our goal is to bring health and well-being to everywhere in our communities, and especially right here to East Greensboro. Not only are we committing the capital that Sharon told you about, but we're also using our philanthropy department to help raise more money. And we are bringing our people capital here to work in creating services here. Yes, there will be medical services. We'll bring telehealth here. We're going to be bringing technology, the story of the grandmother. We're going to bring technology here so those services can come true. We're going to be bringing social services here so those stories that you heard in that grandmother story can come true. We will be creating our signature Sagewell Health and Fitness Center here so health and wellness can happen. We'll be bringing dietitians here to talk about healthy eating and cooking, and food pantries here so they will be available. So we are going to be part of creating the variety and menu of services here, so this can be one-stop shopping in this community for health and wellness, because our vision is that health and wellness is woven into the fabric of every community. And we believe that, you want to say it with me? The Chavis. Come on. Windsor Chavis Nocho Community Complex. They've been practicing it back here. Is the place where all of that can happen. And we want to be part of that. That is part of our mission. We are committed to partnering with the city and the county and with all of you to close the gap, the disparity in health equity that we know occurs in this community. We have data that shows there are mortality gaps in certain zip codes that are as wide as 15 years. And folks, it should not be that way. And we have committed our money, our talent, and our time. We want to partner with you that over the next 5 years, we close that by at least 5 years. And we believe this is one of the places where that can start. We're passionate about that because we see those numbers and we know that has gone on too long. And so we're delighted that we can start here as a place to make that change and make that difference. Too much talent is wasted. Think of all the good those years could do. Our hope is also that coming and bringing jobs here could use another one of our partnerships. I see Frank over here from the United Way. We've been creating jobs and doing job training here. This will create an opportunity for more jobs. So to increase opportunity in this community. So it's with great joy that we enter into this partnership and that we're moving forward. And before I introduce the next speaker, who I'm delighted to do, I'd really like to take a moment of privilege and present something to represent the partnership that we have going forward to Mayor Nancy Vaughn. Fight the wind here. So this is a white coat, if you've ever been to a doctor's office. It has the Cone Health logo and the City of Greensboro logo on it to represent our partnership in good health for this community. And by it, we're promising to be in every community to spread good health across the City of Greensboro. Nancy,
Thank you. On behalf of the City of Greensboro, I am happy to receive this coat on behalf of our City Council, and I promise you we won't start practicing medicine, but we will make sure that there is medicine, adequate health care for people across our city. Thank you so much, and Dr. Cagle, thank you for your commitment.
thank you. And so now it's my privilege to introduce Betsy Watson, the president of the Old L. Richardson neighborhood. Betsy.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Again, my name is Betty Watson, and I am to talk about my role here in this Old L. Richardson neighborhood community. I have served as the president of the Old L. Richardson Neighborhood Association since 2012. We meet every month, every third Saturday morning from 10 o'clock until 11:30. We have an agenda. We have an agenda which consists of invited guests from the city. We have speakers from the county. We have the police officers. We have EMS representatives. We have the firemen. We have all of these people who serve us in the community so that our neighbors here from the Old Richardson neighborhood can become familiar with who's serving us. With this new facility, we will have asset in our community so that we will not have to leave the community, because sometimes with our Old Richardson neighborhood, we will get on a school bus and go take a field trip, just like high school students. We enjoy that. We go out so that we can be able to enjoy the different facilities and all of the amenities that this wonderful city of Greensboro has to offer, so that we can be able to access those. But with this facility, we will be able to access all of these amenities in our own neighborhood. So since 2018 to 2027, from Windsor Recreation Center to Windsor Chavis Nocho Center Complex, it has been an honor that I was able to serve and ask to be involved in the selection process of the architect, the artist, for this project, this amazing project, that we feel confident in their work that they're about to do in our community. We, the members, also, we feel confident in what they're about to produce for us in our community. The progress that they have will be shared with the members in our community as we continue to serve in the community as a neighborhood association. I love this community because of the fact that it is in close proximity for all of the amenities that we have and the conveniences to various locations. Our academic, we have 5 colleges and universities right in our vicinity. We have religious venues. My husband used to tell me we should not have any crime in Greensboro because any way that you turn, you can see a church steeple. We have access to recreation facilities and different cultural events. So I do love this community. But with this new facility in our community, it just adds to the opportunities for the young and the old, intergenerational access to further developments in one location like no other in Greensboro, like no other in the state. Our old Richardson community, the Windsor Chavis Nocho Center Complex. Sounds like a big-time TV station to me, huh? Thank you very much. Oh, thank you very much. Yes, I'd like to introduce our director for our Parks and Recreation, Mr. Phil Fleischman. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm the last speaker standing in between this program, our groundbreaking, and getting you indoors where it's warmer to learn more about this really exciting and transformational project. So I will try to make my remarks brief, but yet I have the honor and privilege really of recognizing so many individuals who have made this project happen. And of course you've heard from key entities and collaborators this morning on this stage. One that we've not mentioned is the Public Art Endowment. And I want to acknowledge them for their $75,000 contribution, which has enabled us to engage with artist Maylene Barnett from Brooklyn, New York, a nationally and internationally known mural medium artist who's been commissioned to design a community-centered art installation here at the new facility. And along with that, I would like to acknowledge the following individuals who served as a part of the Public Art Endowments and Community Artist Collaboration Committee. specifically Margaret Benjamin, Keisha Cunningham Dockery, Karen Archia, Miss Betty Watson, who you heard from this morning, Jackie Boone, Jim Young, Jeff Schroeder, Edwin Harris, Rodney Otus, Emilio Mars, and if I missed anyone, I apologize, but certainly want to acknowledge the Public Art Endowment for their involvement at this complex as well. Cheryl Stewart, of course, leads that phenomenal organization, so we'd like to thank Cheryl for her involvement and collaboration as well. Now, to make this happen, you've heard about some of the key folks in this effort. I certainly want to acknowledge our designers, Vines Architecture, along in collaboration with Evoke Studios, who are represented here this morning, and then consultants J.C. Waller and Associates, serving as civil engineer, Revington Reeves for community engagement, Surface 678 landscape architect, Glimmer and Glow for lighting, Dewberry for mechanical engineering, NV5 for audiovisual and technology, and of course now I have to compete with the train in the background, but I'll talk a little louder. Councilman Hunsaker for the aquatics components here, and Cummings for cost estimating, and certainly the Samet Corporation serving as the construction manager for this really phenomenal project. I'd like to acknowledge Butch Shoemate with the city's facilities division for project management, and I'd like to give a very special acknowledgement to Shauna Tillery, who's here in the audience, serving as the lead project manager for this, and is really doing lots and lots of work to make this happen, to make sure that it's community and it's centered around the community, that it's relevant, that it's just trend-setting and cutting edge. None of that would be possible without Shauna's leadership of this project. So Shauna, thank you. There's also several key folks in city and county leadership administration who have believed in this project, and I'd like to acknowledge them this morning. City Manager Trey Davis and Deputy City Manager Chris Wilson. It's Deputy City Manager Wilson's birthday, so happy birthday, and thanks for joining us today, Chris. County Manager Michael Halford, and Assistant County Manager Victor Isler, along with Abby Gosling as Project Manager. Thank you all for believing in this project. Let's see. I'm looking through my long list of acknowledgments. Oh, I also need to tell you that there are several members of your Parks and Recreation Commission and the Library Board of Trustees that are here. So I'd like to give them a big acknowledgement. They're great representatives in our community, and they're really designed to serve as your voice and your advocate for what you want in regard to recreation and library services. So if you see them here this morning or out in the community, make sure you talk with them and tell them. So they're here this morning in addition to members of the Greensboro Public Library Foundation and the Greensboro Parks Foundation. Thank you for your involvement and commitment to this project as well. Now, Ms. Watson mentioned a very special group, and I would like to acknowledge them as well. And this is both past and present members of the Windsor Chavis Nocho Community Complex Stakeholder Advisory Group is what we're calling this. And it's a team of folks that came together believing in the vision of this complex, of what it can be, and have really helped to make sure that as it's been conceived, as the designs are being done, that it's really reflective of what we need to be doing here. And that is Miss Betty Watson has served on this group, Mr. James Cox, Phil Barnhill, April Parker, Dr. Goldie Wells, C.C. Crawford, Kim Alexander Henderson, and Officer Douglas Campbell. So thank you all for being committed to this project and for sharing your insight and ideas with us. All right, the last thing I want to do before I tell you about what we're almost going to do, which is the soil turning here, the groundbreaking, is I also want to, that wasn't my paper, but it flew away. So I was worried that was going to happen. I'm glad it didn't. I would like to say thank you to each of you. And I'd like to ask you all to continue to be invested and committed to this project as we see it over the next couple of years, as you see demolition occurring at this site, and folks ask you what's going on. Share the excitement that you have with those folks. This is a complex for you. It is for East Greensboro. It is for Greensboro and Guilford County. This is something special, and we are so excited to be celebrating it today and as we move it forward to the ribbon cutting in the near future. And until then, continue that excitement and enthusiasm, and we thank you for taking your time this morning to come out.
1, 2, and 3.